Welcome to the Community Shall Be Restored. I'm your host today, Prophet Cedric Banks. We have a tremendous guest for you today that's doing some outstanding things out here in the community. Doing some great things. We have today Commander Charles Mahone from the 7th Precinct. Welcome to the Community Shall Be Restored, Commander. You know, Commander, I was at my wife was at a meeting, and she came back and she told me they were talking about restored to practice, and it's over in the 9th Precinct area, the restored to practice, and the people who were moderating and facilitating the event, they were talking about you, how many calls you were getting over there when you were with the 9th Precinct monthly. And can you tell us about restored to practice? What is restored to practice and how does that work?
Restorative practice is a process we use to repair relationships. The relationships that are repaired can be between two individuals or a group of people. The end goal of the restorative practice process is to give everyone an opportunity to express themselves in a controlled environment, without any fear. We want them to leave refreshed, knowing that how they feel actually matters.
Wow. Now, what side of town was this going on at when you were getting all these calls? From my understanding, once a month. And what area were they in, and what all took place?
Well, back in April 2016, I got assigned to the 9th Precinct by Chief Craig, and I attended my first community relations meeting. While at the meeting, I got approached by Reverend Henry McClendon, and he's considered to be the guru for restorative practices here in Michigan. And he went through the process of explaining to me how he believed that restorative practice could actually help me serve the police officers and citizens I was working with every single day. He got me hooked. He then went on and took another hour, and I was on my way to becoming a restorative practice practitioner. I attended the 2 days of training that was put on by Black Family Development with Mr. McClendon, and I waited for an opportunity to actually use the skills I had learned. Shortly thereafter, I started having issues on one of the blocks in the 9th Precinct, the Pre-Street. And what we were getting was approximately 90 calls a month to one block. These calls were very taxing when it came to police services. And then when you look at it, there was actually nothing that traditional policing could do with it. A lot of the calls centered around my neighbor was staring at me. There's smoke coming from the house across the street. In each case, the officers would respond, and there would be no problems. Or in those cases, when we would take a report, we did not have good complainants, so we were not able to adjudicate the matter. Finally, after getting all these calls, I reached out to Mr. Henry McClendon, Reverend Henry McClendon, and I asked him if he could facilitate a location for us to do a restorative practice. Next thing I know, we were set up in a church, and we had all the neighbors on that one block to come into the church, and we began to have a discussion.
Wow. Now, did you see any progress when you were able to come together with the residents of the community? Was there any progress that you seen made when the restorative practice technique went into operation?
Yes. In the circle, we had the neighbors, of course, and we also had police officers that were responding to the many calls for service on that block. I also sat in the circle. And we gave everyone an opportunity to express how they felt what was going on the block. At the end, we did have some breakthroughs. And when we first started the circle, I was kind of hesitant that we would actually have any success. So to see what changed over those 3 hours was remarkable.
Wow.
So
So you did see progress.
I did. I really
Okay.
did. Again, each and every citizen on that block had an opportunity to express how they felt in terms of safety, in terms of the police service they were receiving, as well as the follow-up by their neighbors and the police to the different issues that were popping up. Everyone had an opportunity. Everyone felt like their opinion mattered. So I want to believe that every man and woman that attended that meeting left there refreshed. I know I did.
Okay. Now, Commander Mahone, we have a lot of people that look at this TV show. They have broken relationships. They have issues with other relationships what they're in. What can you tell them if they looking to, because some people may be looking to work things out, but they don't have the fundamentals, the wisdom. You follow me? The fundamentals, the wisdom. They don't have the technique and the skills. What can you tell them as far as restorative practice?
Well, restorative practice, it does work. I've seen it in action.
All right.
And if you want to get involved, get the training, get the knowledge, you can contact Black Family Development at 313-758-0150. Again, that's 313-758-0150. And ask for Miss Alex Thompson. I got my training from Black Family Development, and I'm very satisfied what it allowed me to do with that situation on Dupree Street. And as a result, the calls for service dropped dramatically, which allowed me to actually take the resources we were using to police Dupree Street and spread them out, providing other citizens in the area with more service.
Now, do you practice this on anyone, or do you use this on anyone, or any family members? Have you introduced this to any family members or friends or loved ones or anything in your family? Because you have seen it work. You've seen the productivity of it. So do you allow it to go forward in your personal life with any family members or friends or anything?
Yeah, prior to the situation on Dupree Street popping up, I actually practiced it with my child. Well, actually, he's a young adult. And sometimes, parents and their children, there are some communication barriers. And it's not unlike that with law enforcement officials either. So, yeah, I used it with my son, and it turned out well. I'm not sure if he knew that this is what was happening to him, but I knew exactly how I was, manipulating the conversation so that he had an opportunity to tell me how he felt about the different, rules I had in my home. And that's what the discussion was about, with certain rules that we had in the house and how he felt about them being a young man. So it does work.
So you have seen the benefits of it with your family. You using it with your family, you have seen the benefits of it.
I have.
Okay.
More importantly, it allowed me to touch the lives of the citizens I served in the 9th Precinct at the time I was there. I felt that after that 3 or 4 hours that we sat there discussing the issues on Dupree Street, that we made a difference. I still have citizens come up to me today when they see me that lived on that street and say, we thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the whole process, you would not have known that we were in a church. But by the end, people came out of there feeling, again, refreshed, validated, and some were remorseful for their actions. I didn't believe I would see that when we first started.
Wow. So you have seen this restorative practice work miracles then?
Yes.
Okay. That is, wow, that is definitely a blessing. Commander Mahone, how many years have you been a Detroit police officer?
It's 28 years.
28 years, wow. 28 years. Wow, that is a long time. Long time. Now,
You know, you're making me feel old when you say that.
20 years is a long time. Now, you come from number 9, Gratiot and Gunston. You come from the 9th precinct, Gratiot and Gunston, over here to over here in the Gratiot and Shane area. How was the crime rate over here? What is there any high crime rate issues are we dealing with? What's the main issues, like maybe sex trafficking, crime?
Well, all precincts have their issues. In the 7th precinct, we struggle with larcenies from vehicles. And mostly it's in the Scout Car Area 7-9, which is bordered by 375, Gratiot, of course, the river, and it's all the way over to Shane Street. So that's where most of the issues happen in the 7th precinct. And they're larceny related. We also have traffic up on Jefferson that's very heavy that we deal with. We try to prevent the accidents that come from speeders, as well as all the congestion that happens when you have a bunch of people in one place. So those are the issues that we really experience here in the 7th precinct. We have about 100,000 residents that live in this area, so it's somewhat densely populated, and we just try to make things flow.
Many people are afraid of Detroit police officers. Many people are afraid, intimidated. Is there any community meetings or community relations that maybe number 7 has, where people can come out and get more involved and see that the police officers are human and they are willing to work with the public and the community and build relationships with them? Do you have anything like that going on? Community relations, anything type of community relations?
Yes, we do. I like to think that the Detroit Police Department is a lot different from other major departments around the country, simply because here, community relations is not a program, it's actually a culture. All officers are invested in our community. However, we do have specific officers, which we call neighborhood police officers, that have been assigned to deal with each and every neighborhood by sectors in the precincts. You can reach out to your neighborhood police officer in your precinct, and you'll find that they are available to take care of the quality of life issues that may be affecting you. We love our citizens, and we try to take every opportunity to solidify the bond we have with them. The Detroit Police Department is very transparent in that if we make a mistake, we're real quick to say, hey, we erred. We'll do better next time. With me, the glass is always half full. It's never glass, it's half empty. I take every opportunity to reach out to my citizens to find out what they need. And in those cases where I can assist them, I do. And if the situation is not police related, we have the relationships right now that we can steer our citizens to the right city services to get them taken care of. And that's what it's about, serving our citizens out here. It's not by chance that crime is dropping in the city of Detroit. It's because of the relationship that we have with our community and gentlemen like yourself, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Commander. I really appreciate that. You have something going on August 1st. Tell those out in TV land that number 7, the 7th precinct, do have something going on August the 1st, and the community is invited.
Yeah. We have our National Night Out. It's going to be held at Shane and Mack, intersection of Shane and Mack, at the football field. We're expecting about 1,000 kids to come out And we're going to have games, we're going to have food, we're going to have live jazz, and if we're lucky, we're going to have a helicopter land on the field also. So we would love to see you and your family members come out and enjoy the sun with members of the 7th Precinct. It's all about community, working with the police to get things done.
Wow. Yeah, that is definitely awesome. Anything else, Commander, that you may want to put out there to the public that may be on your heart, that's up on your heart, that you may want to put out there to the community, to the public, that I may can't think about, that I may can't think of right at this time, but what the community need to know maybe about the 7th Precinct?
Well, this isn't just about the 7th Precinct. This is about the Detroit Police Department as a whole. Just understand that, we are here to serve you. We want to serve you, and we will do our best to take care of your needs when it comes to any issues that pop up while you're here in the city of Detroit. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at our National Night Out, which is going to be held on August 1st, 2017. It's going to be the best National Night Out in the city of Detroit.
Wow.
I guarantee it.
Wow. Is there a phone number where they can reach you at? Reach you?
Yes. If you want to reach me, you can call me here at the precinct, 313-596-5700. Again, that's 313-596-5700.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Now that is wonderful. Have you seen crime reduce since you haven't been over here too long then, have you?
No, I haven't. I haven't been over here long, but I can tell you, under Chief Craig's leadership, crime has dropped every year, and it continues to drop this year. So I expect nothing less than for us to continue those downward trends. Right now, the 7th Precinct has a 5% drop in overall crime, and I'm hoping to maintain that.
What are some of the main crimes, Commander, what takes place in the city of Detroit? Some of the main crimes, some of the most top crimes in the city of Detroit, what maybe the community need to watch out for? Or
Well, crime is always committed by those that see the opportunity to prosper, that they believe they are going to prosper. But when you talk about major crime, homicide is always at the top of the list. And then you have robbery, and then you have your burglaries, your shootings. We're making strides with all the crime here in the city of Detroit. All our Part 1 crimes are on a downward trend. And, I would like to say that I think you can kind of prevent yourself or improve your chances of not becoming a victim of a crime by being watchful of your surroundings, going to and from your car. Maybe put the cell phone down. Don't pay so much attention to your cell phone that you're not looking over your shoulder to see who's around you. Of course, you can park in well-lighted areas and make decisions that decrease your chances of becoming victim of a crime. Every major city has crime, and Detroit is no different. All right.
what are the qualifications to become a Detroit police officer in the city of Detroit?
And we are hiring. That's a good question, sir. So you need to be age 18, be able to have a driver's license, and have a GED, which is a general education diploma. And you can become a Detroit police officer. If you want to go through the hiring process, you can go down to police headquarters located at 1301 3rd Street between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. and put in an application. And when you come down there, dress to impress. Act like you're actually going to an interview, because you are going to an interview. This is the start of your new career.
So you're saying like come with suit and tie and all of that if you're a guy and all of that?
Yes, or in a nice attire for as you're a young lady, you know, a dress or nice blouse. Don't come down there looking like you want to.
With your pants sagging.
Yeah, pants sagging.
Yeah.
You know, come dress.
Earrings
Yes.
on if you're a man.
Yeah, come dress as if you're going through the interview process.
Right.
You know, that's your first interview. We hire the best because only the best have the right to serve our citizens.
That's awesome. Do you all still have that where the community can come ride in the police cars with the police officers, the kids? They get in the back seat. How does that go? Did they have something like that going at one time where the community can come out and ride along with the police officers and things like that? Do anything like that? How does that go?
We have a number of community-based initiatives. We have our Citizens Academy, where our citizens actually go through a police-like academy, which includes ride-alongs with our police officers. We also have internships. Right now, we are in the summer internship program, and we have kids that are actually attending college, young adults, that actually come in and see what we do on a day-to-day basis here in the Detroit Police Department. They have the ability to, I'd say, try it before they buy it, in that they come in and they follow a police officer in homicide or narcotics or here in my station, and they actually get to see what police officers do. You know, it's been a great program, and so far we've had a number of young men and women who went through the internship program join the Detroit Police Department. We also have other kids that are attending college, taking criminal justice classes, that have the opportunity to come in and ride along with our officers to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. So what you have is leaders on the street actually working with our young men and women to get them where they need to be, so that once they get their criminal justice degrees, they can decide if they want to become a part of this police department or another police department.
Okay, now the academy. There's an academy because there's a written examination and there's a physical agility, a physical part.
Yes.
Now, what would they go through, Commander, with the physical agility part?
Well, with the physical agility part, that section is actually standardized by MLOTC, which is the Michigan Law Enforcement Officers Training Council. And they have to do sit-ups, they have to do push-ups, they have to complete a run, they have to be able to jump a wall. They also have to be able to do what we call a drag. And you have to do it.
Dragging a dummy?
Yes, dragging a dummy.
Okay.
And you have to do it within a certain amount of time. You have to be able to do a certain number of push-ups, a certain number of sit-ups within a certain amount of time. And after you complete each and every part, there's a score assessed depending on the number of reps completed in the allotted time. And your score has to be at a certain point before you're able to pass.
Okay.
And once you pass the reading and the agility, which we just discussed, there's a police academy that you go through. And during the police academy, the process is they get you right in terms of your body, strength training, as well as your mind, you know. So
they also teach you how to shoot a gun?
yes, you go through firearms training, emergency vehicle operations. There are a number of different segments that the police academy takes you through before you hit the street and actually start servicing our citizens.
Okay. What is there a cutoff age? A cutoff age?
No,
No?
no,
So a person could be 65 years old as long as they can get through the testing.
yes.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's amazing.
No height requirement.
No height?
No height requirement.
Okay. One of my favorite actors on Fantasy Island, Little Tattoo, he's a little midget. You mean they can come aboard?
There's no height requirement.
Okay. Okay, wow. Commander, would you please give that number out one more time?
Okay, for the 7th precinct is 313-596-5700. And again, that's for the 7th precinct.
No?
All right.
Okay. Anything else on your heart?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Nope.
Any questions for the commander? We have a small audience here today, but any questions for the commander that, go ahead.
What kind of calls need to go to the neighborhood police officers? What kind of calls?
Well, they have those quality of life issues. Let's say, first of all, you can give all calls to the neighborhood police officers. They're open and ready to take care of all our citizens' needs. But our quality of life issues are the things that are most handled by our neighborhood police officers. The issues that may take some time that our regular patrol officers don't have the opportunity to service. So if you want an example of that, I will tell you, your neighbor putting the garbage can out, too early, or not grabbing the canister in after it's picked up. Abandoned vehicles in the driveways or parked on the street. Maybe your neighbor doesn't cut their grass like they're supposed to. Our neighborhood police officers handle those type of gripes on an everyday basis.
Now that's a very good question, because the NPOs, things are different now than they were 20 years ago. Because I'm seeing now that a lot of the community residents are getting the NPO's phone numbers.
That's correct.
And I've been noticing that lately. They are getting the NPO phone numbers. And 20 years ago, I believe that these are their cell phone numbers.
Yes.
And 20 years ago, I don't think we had cell phone numbers.
No, we didn't.
Number one. And then you couldn't really have a relationship. You didn't have that type of relationship because officers wouldn't give their phone numbers out back then.
That's
but
true.
Now things have changed a lot. And that is a big plus, where you can contact an officer, because I attend a lot of the meetings at number 9.
Yes.
And also number 11.
Okay.
So that is a big blessing, where the officers can give their numbers out to the residents of the community and can call them, and the officers can come out now.
Yes. And, that helps us solidify the bond with our citizens. Actually, how can you say that, you want to service your citizens, and then you make it hard for them to actually have contact with you? We don't do that here in Detroit Police Department.
All right. We've been here today. Commander Mahone, can you give that phone number out one more time for the 7th precinct? We got 1 minute left.
That's 313-596-5700.
All right. What a great interview right here at the 7th precinct with Commander Charles Mahone of the 7th precinct. What a great interview. We'll see you next Saturday night at 8 p.m. right here on the Community Shall Be Restored television show on Comcast Channel 90. I've been your host today, Prophet Cedric Banks, along with
Commander Charles Mahone
of the
7th Precinct.
See you next Saturday night.
Woo!
Can I get a witness here? How many worship you? Come on, get those hands in the air. I do worship you. Yes, sir.